This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the MTK Global show here in Brentwood. Delighted to be joined by Cheeseman himself, Ted Cheeseman. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good, mate, all good. Yeah.
We haven't obviously caught up since last month. Very disappointing night for you. Have a chance to kind of reflect on it and watch it back and kind of, what did you take from it?
It's a learning curve, do you know what I mean? I dare to be great. It never happened. If everyone's seen my career, my 15 fights before that, I never boxed nowhere near how I should have boxed. I'm not one for excuses. When my career's over, hopefully I'll become world champion and do the business. And in my autobiography, everyone will find out the real reason why I weren't there and everything. But that's me, it's private reasons. You can train all you want. You can be the best you can feel in the gym, but if your head ain't right, your head ain't right. And I think anyone who really does know me, sweetheart, anyone who really does know me knows that weren't me in that ring last night. On that night, boxing. There was no slipping, there was no movement, there was no countering, there was no punching off the gloves, nothing. I boxed terrible. I'm not going to lie and not going to put it no other way. I boxed terrible, but I know I'm a lot better than that, and I'm going to go back to the drawing board, work on a few things. And it ain't exactly of you got to go back to the drawing board and work on everything because you weren't right. It was just when your head ain't right, you can try and do anything. And if it ain't working, it ain't working. But I know on another night I could beat that fella. Do you know what I mean? If I'd done what I usually do. But I never. Maybe people might say the occasion got to me or whatever. I weren't nervous. There weren't no worries. Just everything I tried to do weren't coming off. And one of them things you learn from it. I could have turned away after 6-7 rounds and thought, "Cool, ain't my night," and give up like some other fighters would do. But I tried all the way into the last bell in the 12th round, and that's one thing that I'll have. You can't train that. You can't train the heart. You can't train the toughness. I showed everyone I can take a shot. I showed everyone I got a lot of heart and a lot of courage and wanting to win. But it's one of them things that weren't my night. But I'm 23 years old. I'm still British champion. I'm still WBA international champion. There's a lot of things to come. Hopefully I'll box soon. Hopefully in June get a defence of the British, and then start building back up on the Fowler fight, and hopefully or Fowler Fitzgerald, whoever wins out that. And there's loads of big fights out there for me. Do you know what I mean? But it's all a learning curve. If I was 28, 29. You can start worrying, but I'm 23 years old. There's so much more to come, and I can't wait to be back in the ring.
From what you were saying there, Ted, there seemed like, reading between the lines, obviously you had some kind of issues going on outside of the ring, which obviously clearly you don't want to speak about yet, but was that a big factor to kind of how your performance was on the night?
Yeah, of course, it's a big factor, because if you see my body, you see everything. I was in an unbelievable shape. I've trained really hard. But if your head ain't right, your head ain't right. And as much as when you're boxing, sometimes you got things on your head, things when you're going through rounds, you're still thinking about other things that's going on. And you know you're not right. You're not thinking all about winning. There's other stuff going on. And like you said, with me, I'm not one of them people. I'm not going to come out and start telling everyone my whole life story, my business. It's between me. All I need to do is make sure my head's right. And I know there's not many people in the light middleweight division that I can't beat. But I can't go in a ring like that again and not be right. I have to be right. And that's why my team have got things in place for me, and everything's going well. And I'm back training. I'm feeling good in the gym. I'm feeling sharp in the gym. And I can't wait to be boxing again. It's one thing is like, on that night after that, you think, "Cool, it's done. I'm finished." The whole world's collapsed on me. But you can take a lot of good stuff as well as bad stuff. Do you know what I mean? There's not many 23-year-olds who've topped the O2 Arena, a stone throw away from where I live. And the thing is, it guts you and kills you, and the only reason it does is because I'm a winner. I don't want to lose. No, if I weren't gutted, then I might as well jack the sport in and give it up. But I'm a winner. I love winning. I hate losing it. I wouldn't want to lose a Monopoly game to a 2-year-old. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to lose a game of FIFA to another kid. It's just one of them things. I love winning, no matter what I do. That's my mentality. But for weeks it did kill me that I lost. But it's one of the things you got to get over it and get back in the gym, start working on stuff, and you're only as good as your last fight. And right now I'm terrible because the last fight I boxed terrible. But once you get back in the ring, get another win behind me, it'll be forgotten about and the training will be back running.
Ted, if you do know a 2-year-old that can play Monopoly, you might be sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. Little kids, it don't matter what it is, I don't, and who it is I'm playing against. I want to win. You know, like sometimes you play a game of pool and you think, as a kid, I'm going to let him win. No, I'm not letting him win. I want to win. Do you know what I mean? No matter what I do.
No, we get exactly what you mean. Obviously, you kind of done what you've done at British level, and there was always going to come the opportunity where you were kind of going to be pushed onto that European kind of level fight, which what that was. But there was probably some people suggesting after the fight that that European level come a little bit too soon for you. Would you say that was the case or not really?
No, honestly, look, I know anyone who knows me, who's close to me, who's in the gym or who's been in the gym with me, they'll know, listen, I can beat that fella all day long. I know I can. And I'm not delusional. I really ain't a delusional fighter. You get a lot of fighters who are delusional. The fella never knocked me out. He never made me look silly. Nothing what I done worked. Nothing worked. I weren't boxing well. The stuff I was trying, I could have done a lot better. But after 6-7 rounds, I thought I'm losing here. Let's put my hands down. Let's go and have a fight. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. But at least everyone knows I tried. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be one of them fighters who thinks, I just put my hands up and took the shots and gloves. I never got hit with too many shots, but it didn't look so bad. I thought, come on, let's leave it all on the line here. If I can knock him out, I'll knock him out. If he knocks me out, he knocks me out. That's it. It's a sport. You come again. But I gave my all. I lost a 12-round points decision to number 3 in the world. Do you know what I mean? I'm 23 years old. That's what everyone forgets. And look, as much as I can say, I know I can beat that fella if I box right and box well. It don't matter. That don't matter. I lost. And that's what matters. But I've got to prove to everyone that I can do that. And the only way I do that is being back in the gym training and get the fights in and get back. I would love to fight that Sergio Garcia again on a right head, but it ain't going to happen overnight now. I need to build up again and work again, but it's not too far away. I'm still British champion. There's still big fights out there. I mean, all I need is one good win and I'm back there. Do you know what I mean? But what it is, a lot of other fighters wouldn't have took that chance that I took. I wanted to take that chance. I was begging for the fight because I want to go all the way in the sport. I'm not in boxing just to say I'm a boxer. I'm in to go all the way. And if I can't go all the way, it's done. The sport's done. But I still believe I can go all the way. And we'll see. My next couple of fights, you'll see if it's a different Ted from the other night. But if it ain't, then I know the sport's over. But in my head, I know that weren't me, and I know I will come again.
What did your promoter Eddie Hearn say to you after the fight, and what conversations have you had with him since that night?
Straight away he said to me, Ted, look, you tried to do what you done, it never worked. Obviously Eddie and everyone don't know everything, but what I'm saying is that weren't me. But he still said there's still loads of big fights out there for you. There's still the Fowler Fitzgerald fight and everything, and that's what I'm saying. Fowler and Fitzgerald, they're 27, 28. They need me. They still need me to fight for the British. If I go and box them and beat them, and that Sergio Garcia fight's forgotten about. And as soon as I boxed, 2 weeks later I was in the gym and I said to Tony, please come on, please get me I just want to fight the winner of Fitzgerald Fowler because I want to show everyone how good I really am. I mugged myself off the other night. I boxed terrible. And I'm not someone who's deluded and say I ain't boxed terrible. I box terrible. Do you know what I mean? I box rubbish. Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassment for me watching the fight. It's an embarrassment the way I boxed. But the only way you come back from that is to go and prove what you can really do. And I just need to keep working in the gym, get the fights, and I'll show everyone really how good I am.
Obviously, before the fight with Garcia, and it doesn't help because a lot of the media will always ask you questions about potentially Anthony Fowler, about Fitzgerald, etc., etc. And did you kind of, I don't know, a lot of people, again, were saying that kind of Ted was talking a little bit too much about that potential fight when Garcia was
kind of in front of him there, and he had a job to do with Garcia. We know you wouldn't be overlooking Garcia, but was there perhaps in hindsight a little bit more talk than there should have been about a potential fight with either Fowler or Fitzgerald at that point?
To be honest, I'll be totally honest with you. I was not worrying about that fight. I was worrying about beating Garcia and trying to get a world title shot, if I'll be totally honest. Because we're all fighters. We all want to go all the way. If you don't want to go all the way, there's no point of being in the sport. And I didn't have one care about Fowler and Fitzgerald. Obviously now, I can't wait to fight one of Fowler or Fitzgerald because I need to prove myself again. Before that fight, I had 15-0. I boxed all good, like a load of good names in my last few fights. I come up short against Garcia, but it's one fight. Look how many fighters lose and come again. And the thing is, as long as I go and get another good win after this and carry on pushing along, the big fights are going to come. That's all you need to do. Just keep improving, keep learning. You got to learn from these fights. There's a loss, but I learned a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I know there's big fights for me. But I've got to go and show everyone how good I am in these big fights. If I go and have another performance like that, in myself, I know it's game over. Do you know what I mean? There's no point. Look, everyone can be in it for a pound note. Everyone can be in it to go as far as you can. I'm in it for both. But the thing is, I want to go all the way. Going all the way brings you that. Do you know what I mean? And you got to win. You got to prove how good you are. But the thing is if I go and box like that again, it's done. Do you know what I mean? But that's why everything's got to be right. And I've got a great team around me, Tony, Charlie. Everything's going well at the moment. Everything's been put in place to make sure everything's going right. And I know by next fight, I'll be a totally different fighter.
So the immediate plan for you is to kind of keep defending your British and then kind of, yeah, you've taken a step backwards, but kind of push yourself back onto that European stage at some point.
Yeah, cool. It ain't going to be long before. All I need is I'm going to have one defence, hopefully, probably before I fight the winner of Fowler Fitzgerald. I've got to win that fight first. Obviously, I'm not going to look past it. I've got to win that fight first. But then if I win that fight Fowler Fitzgerald, beat them, I'm there again. Do you know what I mean? And by then, I'm still only 24 probably at that time. Do you know what I mean? So most fighters don't get to this, ain't even turned pro at this age. Do you know what I mean? I've just fought for a European title, top the O2. It's an achievement on itself. Do you know what I mean? But as much as I'm taking a lot of bad from the loss, you got to take the good points as well. Do you know what I mean? There's experience, and all you can do is push on. You can't get no worse. You got to push on from there and look for another couple of good wins and push back to that point I was at. Do you know what I mean? It was a great point to be at, but it never worked out. But I know I'll be back there soon.
All right, Ted. Well, listen, appreciate your time, and it's good to catch up with you. Definitely hope to see you back in the ring as soon as possible and kind of get that night behind you and kind of get back on the path.
Yeah, 100%. That's all I want to do now, because everyone's talking about, everyone's saying this and that, and it's horrible to look at yourself as a fighter. It does bring you down, but you got to pick yourself up and get the win behind you, and then it's all forgotten about.
Ted Cheeseman, thank you very much for your time, and like I said, we'll catch up with you really soon.
Yeah, cheers, thanks, Cheers, mate.